Okay, so I looked out. In the distance there you can see the coal silo. And I got here just as they were completing loading. The train is now waiting at a grade crossing for a crew member from the rear of the train to be brought up to the locomotive. And then after he jumps on, the trip will begin. So I'm going to run down the road and set up for my next shot rather than waiting for the crew member. There's my camera. I've moved a couple crossings down. Can't tell if the train's moving or not. I think it might just still be sitting at the last grade crossing. So I still got the broken finger, and it turns out that it's much more difficult to properly apply sunblock with one hand than with two. It's about 94 degrees out, which is pretty comfortable compared to the 105 in Moab yesterday or the day before. I think he might be moving. I better get to the film camera. Okay, what are you bitching about now, Prius? I got a pretty good shot at that second grade crossing. Apparently my hatchback is not latched. Hopefully the car will shut the... Oh, here's a nice viewpoint. Oh, that's not a vehicle, it's a sign. Still, a good place to shoot the train. If I could change one thing about the Prius, it is that it would have no beeper whatsoever. Whoa, why am I going slow? I need to be hauling ass to get to the next grade crossing. Just got another decent shot from kind of a rise in the land. Up here in a little ways, the tracks peel off to the right, and I have to decide if I want to race the train on a gravel road. I'm not sure if I'm going to do that or not. We'll have to see what the road looks like. Okay, turning onto the road to Page. It looks like there's a signal maintainer here. I wish this train would get out of my way so I could chase the train. Here's the end. Okay, I goofed. I turned prematurely. So I'm gonna miss about 20 miles of following the track. On the other hand, I think I'm going to get to Kaipito before the train, since I'm on a faster road. So I don't really know what I'm missing out on, but whatever. I'm in Kaipito. This place has a really weird vibe to it. There are like housing developments with 8-foot fences around them. I guess I should have turned my camera on a little earlier. Kind of felt like I was passing military bases, but they weren't military bases. I don't know what's going on here. I picked up the tracks again west of Kaipito. Man, am I glad I didn't drive this gravel road the whole way from the highway, where I made the wrong turn. This is knocking out all my fillings. So I don't know if I'm ahead of the train. I'm concerned that I could be behind it. Need to get back to the highway. Eventually the tracks parallel the highway. I shouldn't have gotten off the highway. Back in Kaipito, I blew that. I wound up on the diagonal road back down towards Kayenta, the gravel version. So there's a real good chance that I've lost the train. Oh well. Okay, the power plant is just visible on the horizon there. Looks like they've got 3 stacks going today. Railroad's on my left over a little bit of a hump, and I really don't know if I'm ahead of or behind the train. So I've been driving like mad to try to guarantee that I'm ahead of the train. Obviously there's a grade crossing or overpass coming up here, so I'll find out in a second. Well, I'm just a few miles from Navajo Generating Station. It's about 4:10 p.m. The grade crossing back there with the white truck was 2:21 p.m. So hour and 40 minutes. There's no way it took an hour and 40 minutes for it to go that distance. I'm sure I've missed it, but I'm going to wait a little while just in case I'm wrong. Alright, I did a little more investigating, and according to an online resource, it takes 3 hours for the train to get from the mine to Navajo Generating Station over there. And the train was stationary back at Kayenta at 1:40. I took a stationary shot at 1:40. And then I went down the tracks and waited for a while for it to start moving, maybe 10-20 minutes. So that would put it in here between 4:40 and 5 perhaps. Right now it's about 4:25. So the thing is, I don't really have a great shot. I was assuming the train was out on my tails and that I should take any shot over no shot. I guess I'm pretty much stuck with this now. Also, I can't really imagine that there's any good shot over in that direction, because the track passes under the road and then heads straight for the power plant. So that's got to be all private land over there. And it's not like there were a bunch of perpendicular roads back in that direction. My main regret is that I didn't have any shots with any rock and in it and in them. And there were a few places where there were cuts and there was some interesting scenery. So I'm winding up with a film with not much interesting scenery. Alright, here he comes. The train is unloading down there. You can see it passing around the right side of the coal pile at an extremely slow speed. Here's the power plant. Doesn't look like it's producing much exhaust. I stopped over by the entrance to the plant to get a picture of the sign with the plant in the background. And right on cue, security came racing out here to tell me that I can't take pictures. I've been through this before with them. The highway right-of-way extends from the barbed wire fence on the right side of the road to the barbed wire fence on the left side of the road, which means that property up to within about 8 feet of that sign, the brown sign, is state property. So the approach that I've taken with these guys that's been successful is I've just said, well, I know where the right-of-way ends. I've had this discussion before. I'm going to get my shot and I'll leave. I won't make any trouble for you. And that usually sends them packing. Boy, it's a busy road. Anyhow. So now I'm headed back to Kayenta because I never got a proper establishing shot. I need a shot of the town sign that says Kayenta on it. I'm going to waste the 2 hours. I'm going to go back, do a 2-hour round trip to get a picture of a sign.